Hello, everyone, and welcome to IV Games Weekly, the first episode of 2021. I am Austin Harrison, and I am joined by Zach Dixon and Max Anderson.
Hello.
It's our first episode of the year. It feels like a year since we've made one.
I don't know.
Oh, no. Sorry. We're both dads.
That wasn't
so
a good joke.
It wasn't. Max, we actually took Max off screen because he told us he was going to hate it.
Yeah. He's like, that's a terrible joke.
It is, though.
But
It is.
In all seriousness, though, I missed this. One, because we get to actually hang out, which is fun, and we're not working. We're able to talk about board games, which is nice. But also, I miss, I guess, talking to people, but we can't see them, but they can see us.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Austin calls
You like
me
talking at people.
I like
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
at people.
Austin calls me all the time. Just send a voicemail.
Yeah. Zach pretends he listens. It's great.
Yeah.
But we actually have a few things that we're excited to talk about. One of them is we played some games over break, and we're going to talk about the different games that we played and what we liked about them. We're going to talk about some of our favorite Christmas presents, which is wonderful. But before we get to that, we're going to just talk about the state of IV games. So we are in the middle of production for Veiled Fate pre-production. So we've already submitted all the files, and we're just waiting for those pre-press samples to come back. So basically, we're getting samples of plastics and metals and color samples and box samples, and it's really, really exciting. It's what makes it feel real. I think you usually say that it doesn't feel real until the insert comes.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like just a bunch of pieces in a little box. That's not a game. It's got to have the insert.
Some games don't even have an insert.
Then it's not a real
They're
game.
not real games.
It doesn't count.
Terraforming Mars is not.
Yeah. What was the one?
It was Terraforming Mars.
No, I feel like Max has another one.
Yeah, Food Chain.
Food chain.
Food Chain
Yeah.
doesn't have one.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of pieces just
In
thrown in a
bags.
box.
In little baggies.
Little baggies.
Yep.
I gotta have an insert, or it's like this is like a craft. It feels like a craft to me. It's like, oh, this is just like a I don't want to bash anybody. Food Chain's a great game, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Terraforming Mars is one of the best games of all
yeah.
time. It's
Yeah.
just they were so good they didn't need an insert. Our games they're just not good enough to not have an insert.
I see some people are calling out in the chat. No hat, Zach.
No hat, Zach. It's true.
I
you don't have a hat on.
I did the COVID haircut. I just shaved it all off myself. Don't look too close. It looks kind of bad, but
It's all right. It looks fine. And we all have COVID haircuts right now, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so some updates on Veiled Fate. All of the plastic models were approved, except for one. And I was actually not guessing this would be the one that wasn't approved, because it doesn't seem like a flimsy one at all. But Bellin wasn't approved, and it was because of his weak ankles. He snapped off at the ankles, and so we're extending his cape down to touch the base so that he has multiple points of contact on the actual base, which is a good change all around. Don't want to have weak ankles in your minis. That's the worst.
Gotta hit the gym.
But then his color was also the one that wasn't approved. So basically, Bellin is a major problem for us at the office. His teal was just a little bit too green, right?
Yeah, it was too similar to the. Actually, it was really spot on. I think Panda did a great job of matching colors.
The colors are great.
Like we basically had like Austin came over to my house. We were wearing masks. It was great time. But laid out all the cards of all the different demigods and laid the plastics down on top of them, and the matches were fantastic. Like they really nailed the color matching. So I was really pumped about that. But the teal and the green were just a little bit too similar.
Yeah. Across the table, it would be hard.
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna lighten up the teal a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look all great. All the molds look amazing.
Yeah.
It's always really fun to get the brass pieces because they're so dense.
Yeah,
and
those
they
are
look
nice.
like solid gold, and you just feel awesome.
Just love heavy pieces.
Those are
yeah.
so nice.
Best feeling.
Jacob said you could say that Bellin has an Achilles heel.
Got him.
Got Bellin. So we haven't gotten the medals yet. The metal minis samples have not come yet. Those were made. The samples were all made. And then we realized, or we didn't, the production team realized that they made them at 0.75 inches base instead of an inch base. And they were too small and they lost detail. So they had to go back to the drawing board and extend those models out to an inch. So we're waiting on those samples still. But other than that, we have almost everything, which is exciting. As far as the actual, not the cards and the boxes and stuff, but the actual like plastic components and the metal components. The metal renown trackers feel amazing and are lovely. Max, you did a great
Way to
job
go,
making
Max.
those. Yeah.
Think, guys,
It was
I
all
try.
you. It was all you. Oh, goodness. All right. So that is kind of where Veiled Fate is at. It is on schedule. All of the translations are actually coming back today or Monday, and those will be submitted as well for pre-press. So we have no updates on the actual schedule other than it's just continuing as normal. Moonrakers, if you didn't know, were delivered in October. And we are just starting working on the expansions that we're planning on launching this year. So excited to get in on that in the next few weeks as far as playtesting the first expansion. So if you're not a member of our Discord, please jump in there. We'll definitely be testing it over the next couple of months and would love to get your guys' input there. It's going to be...
Yeah. Can we talk about our
awesome.
meeting we had earlier today? This is back to Veiled Fate.
Oh, yeah. Please. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we started work. We had our first meeting with Quackalope to start talking about the lore compendium.
You said compendium so well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
always go.
Austin
I always
can't
mess
do it.
up. Yeah, I can't do it.
And just kind of running him through. We got him caught up on the Enter the Temple experience. Enterthetemple.com if you want to.
Yeah.
If you're not caught up.
If you haven't done it yet.
If you haven't
It's
done
great.
it yet. We kind of caught him up on that story and the kind of lore leading into the world of Veiled Fate, and that'll kind of set up the kind of the story of the actual game as you're playing it, and Quackalope's coming in and going to write some flavor text for our quests, and that's going to come in a little book. Very excited about it.
He's like writing like an intro story that covers the kind of the lore that we've created, and then he's writing like per quest.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go on that quest, I'm really excited about that. I think it'll add a lot, especially for people that like feeling that they're in a story when they're playing a game. And I'm either one. I either want to be all in on the story or just like have it be like a very abstract game. I don't know.
Every game is a story. It's the story is the game that you're playing, Austin.
Awesome.
Max isn't into that. I truly believe that though.
Oh, wow.
We'll just do an episode on that someday.
The
That's a
game
new
is the
topic.
story you're playing. All right, new topic, starting right now. No, so
Sounds like a fortune cookie response.
Oh yeah, no, it sounds really lame, but
Veiled Fate, we're doing another update. It is either going out today or Monday. The Pledge
Kickstarter
Manager
update, you mean?
Kickstarter update. The Pledge Manager closes on January 15th. So if you have not finalized your pledge, there's 15% of you out there that have not. Please do that before the 15th, or you'll get an angry email from probably me.
wow.
Not angry, just insistent.
He's angry.
Moonrakers.
Every hour on the hour. Expect it.
Just 12 emails a day. Oh, golly. Moonrakers, though, I'm really excited to start hashing out that expansion. The first expansion that we're going to be working on is a single-use card expansion. And I think that will just add a whole new layer of strategy to the game, and is just going to be super fun to kind of play with. So anyway, you guys want to jump into our topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, all right. So the topic is you have to tell us your favorite Christmas presents that you got, your games that you played over the Christmas holiday, and then we're doing a video game that you played that you really enjoyed too.
Well, I mean, yeah, the topic was like, what did you do over break? Is really the
Maybe
real
you should
special
intro the
topic.
topics from now.
Well, no. I mean, yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's like we just want to catch up over break, talk a little bit about what we did since we were all kind of separated for the breaks. We all got to play some new games, and also, what'd you get for Christmas? Because that's fun. Because we all get fun game related things, except for
You should go first,
Okay.
mostly because I put your slides first.
That's great. Well, real quick, my favorite thing I got for Christmas, I got the new Woodkid record on vinyl.
Ooh.
If there's any Woodkid fans out there, I got the deluxe edition. I should have put a picture in there. It's very cool though. It's got like some like patches and stuff. You could like sew it on like a hoodie.
Oh,
Tons
wow.
of like really cool prints and things like that.
That is really cool.
That's awesome.
And really high quality like patches. But anyways, Woodkid is my favorite musician, and so really stoked to be spinning that vinyl.
That is really cool. Oh, real fast, answering a question from Wolf310. It's going to be expansions for Moonrakers this year. I don't think we'll get to a Veiled Fate expansion this year. Would love to hear from you guys also what your favorite Christmas gift was. Games you've
put
been
it
playing.
in the chat.
Please put it in the chat.
Saw Wingspan expansion.
Yeah. Was that the
Nice.
Oceana?
It's
Is that
nice.
what the most recent one is? I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and jump into the rest of your...
So favorite game played over the holidays, Raccoon Tycoon. So we got that on Kickstarter.
Yep, the big box.
Like the big box was that maybe went out in April or something like that, or May.
Yeah, it was like summer last year.
We got that. It's been sitting in the office for a little bit. Grabbed
shame.
it, brought it home. Really well reviewed. I think what's it at here on the Kickstarter?
7.4. So not...
It was 943 overall on BGG.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's pretty solid. The big box was nice. We were a little bit worried. There's like, oh, do we accidentally buy two versions of this game? But no, we
box
did
was
not.
heavy.
You load the original game into the box, and then it just had the expansion in it. So we figured it out. It's all fine now.
Oh, that's so funny.
But no, it's a really, really fun game. Not very heavy, but it has this, really fun kind of risk reward, like a marketplace system that I really enjoyed. It basically has it's a pretty big board, and the expansion actually comes with tableaus, which took up a ton of table space. We have a pretty small dining room table. Oh, really helped though. Love the tableau because it lets you kind of keep track of all your stuff really, really tidily. But the two main mechanics that I really loved was there's I think 7 or 8 individual resource types. So I'm not even going to say any of them, but because I'm probably going to get them wrong.
No, that's fine.
And there are trackers for how valuable they are, going up from 1 to 10 or something like that. And so every time you have mechanisms to drive the price up, and then you have mechanisms to get more of that thing. You're trying to kind of, but when you sell it, everyone that you sell will drop it down a point.
Oh.
And then that kind of goes in hand with the main way you do victory points is you trigger auctions on railroads. And then everyone, as soon as an auction is triggered, if I use my turn to trigger an auction, everyone has a chance to bid. And it becomes this really fun mechanic of just trying to see okay, I think you might want this railroad, but I'm going to wait until the right moment to when I don't think you have a lot of money.
So that you can get it versus me.
So
that's mean. You shouldn't do that.
No, yeah, I will do it though. I will.
I haven't played yet. People are saying that they're excited for Lizard Wizard. Or wait, Lizard Wizard.
Yeah, same people, right?
Same people, yeah.
Yeah.
We backed that one as well, so I think that's coming out later this year.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. And it seemed like there were quite a few different ways to, different approaches to it. And interestingly enough, they actually, I was doing a little research on the background of the game before I bought this. They changed, after release, they changed the end game condition.
Wow.
Between editions. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically there are 3, and we have the new edition. So it was just the new version was just what it was to me. But I thought wow, that's a pretty big change post release, and a lot of people were really upset about it. It was pretty much they started a new thing on BGG, a new forum post, and then just everyone after that was just telling them why it was terrible.
Oh no.
But it felt fine to us. It felt really good. It was basically there are 3 main three main card decks that have ways to get victory points in them. Well, that's not true. 2 out of 3 have ways to get victory points. But before it was just one of those decks runs out, the game's over. Now it's 2 of the decks runs
so
out,
it
the
could
game's
be a lot
over.
longer.
Yeah, no, it definitely, and I could see it. I could see a lot of the complaints were about it kind of makes the game drag on a little bit, and it did feel like it lulled a little bit at the end. I'll have to think about that next time I play, though. Keep that in mind. But it was interesting that they made such a big change.
Yeah. That is interesting. Chuck just said you guys should look into Unsettled. I feel like you would love space exploration. We actually
love space.
I
love
literally
exploration.
Almost wore my orange Nebula hat
Sounds great.
on the stream. I left it at home accidentally. We actually traded a tricked out Moonrakers copy for a tricked out Unsettled copy with the guys at ONEB. So, and gals at ONEB. It's not just guys. Definitely excited to play it. Someone found the Veiled Fate hoodie. What hoodie? What are you talking about?
Stand up, Austin.
Oh no.
Look at this. Oh wow! I told you to stand up, and then your head's just sticking out of the frame. Yes, we have been working on some Veiled Fate hoodies, which may or may not eventually be for purchase. Sam,
they're kind of expensive to make, so we're trying to work through that.
They're very expensive to make, but they're dope. So
They look
yes,
so cool.
They are embroidered. The detailing is very cool. There's a bunch of like patches on them that we're still working on, but we wanted to. We wanted to show him off, and then Austin wore it, so I wanted to match him.
Yeah.
So
Zach always tries to match me. That's just our life. Interesting thing about Raccoon Tycoon, it's not just raccoons in the game.
No.
There's like cats and stuff.
Yeah, there's a kitty. It's like a fat cat.
Yeah.
In there as well too, but
I'm kind of.
It's like animal themes. The art's nice. Like there's some good illustrations.
A little misleading. I thought it was gonna be all raccoons, but
are you disappointed?
I mean, not really. It's okay.
Wait, Zach, was the story the game you were playing all along?
Oh no.
It was, Max.
Hi, human.
Just making sure.
We had a great. The story of the game was great. That we played.
Oh. All right. So tell us about the story of Unto the End.
Oh yes. Okay. So
this is his video game.
Video game. Yes. Love shouting out some good old indie games. Unto the End is I've been following their development on Twitter for quite some time. It is it's described as a cinematic platformer, which I like. Yeah, like I feel like it's like in line with like an Inside or like a Limbo. Like Roki is another one that I've been following. Mm-hmm. That's similar to that, but this one's got a very robust combat system. And do we have the footage, or did that never download?
No, I never downloaded.
Oh, bummer.
So
okay,
that's on me.
No, I would highly recommend it. It's on if you have like Xbox Game Pass or something like that. It's on that for free, but it's also on Steam and a couple other places. But it's
as far as this type of game goes, the combat system is what's attractive, right?
Yeah, I mean the visuals. I don't know. I'm a big fan of platformers in general that have great visuals. But it's really cool. They got like a crafting system, but it's like a really robust and like maybe almost too difficult of combat. Like it's
got like a high block and like a low block and like a bunch of different things.
Yeah, and like every enemy has like its own pattern, and you kind of have to like
memorize.
It's a little bit of like a trial by death to like figure out the pattern to beat them. So it gets a little bit of flack for being pretty hard. Who knows? I might not even beat it because it is pretty hard, but definitely worth checking out.
Cool. Awesome. All right. That was Zach's stuff. So let's get to Max. You played some heavier games than we did over break, which is fun.
I'm just making sure, like, I didn't miss Zach's present, right? His favorite gift.
The Wood Kid.
Wood Kid.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You're just a bad friend.
Yeah, missed that.
Oh, wait. This isn't as heavy as I thought it was.
You got it for me, Max. No.
I thought Oceans was heavier than this. 2.79.
No, it's not that heavy.
No.
Yeah, so I got to play Oceans, which same people that do Climate Evolution. This is another standalone game they made, and you're taking on a species of underwater fish
creatures?
That you're giving
fish creatures.
Yeah, that you're giving traits to over time and trying to outmatch the traits of the opponent, and also trying to not go extinct. And it's got a lot of very interesting. Oceans is very similar to Climate Evolution in gameplay. They just kind of tweaked a lot of it and then made it a lot more like traits that affect the other person's like side. And so you're like kind of like everything to the right and left, and if it's the right on your furthest right, it's going to be the next player. So you're like are keeping track of a lot more things.
Interesting. Is it anything like Spore? Do you guys remember Spore?
Oh yeah,
I love Spore.
Do not.
It's a video game where you like.
I remember it was like
an
infamous game
from water to land, and yeah. Anyway, that sounds really neat though. So
I remember the Spore No Man's Sky comparisons.
Oh gosh.
Oh
yeah.
In Spore's favor, or as in they were both disappointments or something.
That one.
Oh no.
Well, like I mean, initial No Man's Sky turned things around, but like the whole like hype leading up to it, and then the drop being not what people wanted.
I was satisfied by Spore.
I like
I
Spore
thought
a lot.
Spore like met the hype, but
Yeah.
I wonder if
What? That is not how I've ever heard.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Spore
no.
talked about.
I love Sport.
and I
had
was
like
hyped for it too. Like I was so excited about Spore, and then it came out, and I was like, this is dope.
I had like a
But-
Velociraptor space army at one point at the end there. It was great.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
So it's probably not like that though. This just stays underwater, right?
This one is all underwater.
Yeah.
The other one is above water,
the
on
water.
land, as you.
As some people
call
say.
it.
Hey,
But they're both
Patrick-
very fun games and worth checking out.
Are they meant to like play into each other almost that way?
No, Ocean just seems like another go at the same core concept.
Got it.
Just like they definitely turn a lot of stuff on its head to like it feels like a different game, but overall you're like, it's the same idea. But like playing, there's a lot more going on in this one of placement of certain things and where it's like a slower paced one. You're only playing like one trait a turn, and so you're trying to like pace yourself to make something that's going to survive. And it feels really like it was just Sarah and I playing, so even at 2 it played really well.
That's great. Your second game is one that I have looked at like almost bought like 5 times now, and I
Quacks?
haven't because of the pot, the like main board, like
The main board.
it's got like the swirl.
Oh, like your personal board.
Yeah, your personal board. It looks
Yeah.
so chaotic to me. Please, but everyone loves it. So please
It's
tell me
not,
what's
though.
amazing about
It's a
it.
pretty simple game.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where I was trying to teach it to everyone. I knew the concept, but was going through the rule book, and every section I was like, man, this game is confusing. And like you're like trying to make heads or tails of the whole thing, and then you play it and you're like, oh man, explaining this game to someone is so much easier than trying to learn it from the rule book. And so it's like after that first try, it's actually pretty easy. And with the expansion plays, I think up to 6.
Wow.
It's one because it's all simultaneous play, so it feels like you could easily just keep adding people in if you had the pieces for it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
but I'm a
what's
sucker
yeah, what's-
for yeah.
Oh, say, give me the overview.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
So you're making a potion.
Oh,
And you are trying to make the best potion over and over again without it exploding. And everyone has their own individual baggie, which is the coolest thing ever, where you get to reach into and grab something out of.
okay.
Which I just love those things.
Yeah.
And then you get your own. So in this bag is all of the ingredients that you can get for your potion. Some of them are, I don't remember what they're called, but they're the like white ones that are like the base of it. And if you ever they all have like a numerical value on them. If you ever exceed 7, your potion explodes.
Oh,
And
sounds
so
bad.
like it's a push your luck thing as you're digging
Nice.
in,
Yeah.
pulling a new one out and being like, oh, I have 6 right now. If I pull out any more of them, I will blow up. But but there's only 1 in there and there's like 7 other things. So I probably would be okay. And then it doesn't go that way. But so all it is, you're doing that, playing them out wherever they go on the spiral thing that Austin talked about, which is, it's very simple. It's like if it's a 3, it goes 3 above the last one. And then you're just building it out to get more and more points as the bigger potion comes to life and you don't go over. But then from there, you just go into like the buying phase of buying more ingredients with what you just made to get more things in your bag. And then you just do that like 5 times maybe.
Yeah.
And then the only thing we noticed, there's only one playthrough, so I don't know how indicative it is of everything else. It felt like there's not a lot of end game scoring to make up for
So it's kind of like a
getting
snowball.
getting far behind. Yeah,
I gotcha.
like going into that last round, even though we all scored quite a bit, it's like it didn't change where anyone was the whole time. So it's just like the guy in the lead won.
Yeah.
So Emerence is saying that she loves the game, that it looks a little bit jarring the first time you look at it, but once you learn how to play, then it's great. I'm curious what she has to say in response to the snowball thing, because I mean, obviously she's played it a lot more than Max has, so I'll have to ask her about that. Yeah, I'm really excited to play it, Max. So can you bring it?
And
next
there's
time?
a new expansion that
I did hear about that.
just came out recently.
Yeah.
The witches.
Oh, nice.
Herb witches.
That's cool. It's a
I
fun
cannot
theme.
bring it. It is not. I gave it as a gift this year and then made them
Boo.
play it with me.
Nice.
That's a great
Solid.
thing to do.
That's an Austin
awesome.
move.
I
to
do
me.
that to Zach all the time. Not as much this year because we bought a lot of the games that we wanted for research purposes.
Yeah.
This is like the first Christmas that I haven't gotten. Did you do your Christmas present, Max?
No, I'm
Oh,
still
yeah.
going.
Okay.
He's
Anyway,
still-
sorry. One
he's-
second.
he's
One second.
still, like-
Yeah, but this is the first Christmas I haven't gotten a lot of board games, and I think you said something along those lines too. Is that if we wanted a board game for research or to like learn something, like we bought it this year versus just like waiting for Christmas. So
Yep.
that
All
was-
the games sitting on this table still
yeah,
haven't played.
Still,
So,
there's at least 6 down there that are
we
shelf
got
of
too
shame.
many.
All right, Max. I'm sorry I cut you off. What was your favorite Christmas present?
I got the Blue Bottle Edition Fellow
Nice.
electric kettle.
You've been talking about
And
this for a
it's-
while.
I know.
Is this a
It's
coffee
just-
thing?
It's just it's just an electric kettle that looks amazing, and I have been talking about it for ever since I saw it like a year and a half ago. But it is just so much more than I'm willing to spend personally on a kettle. And so Sarah had asked if there's anything I wanted from her parents for like us to have at the house, and I was like, if they're willing,
Yeah.
I'm throwing this out there.
Wow.
And they got it for us, which is amazing.
It's great. My in-laws also got me my kettle, my
Really?
fellow kettle. Yeah, it's a perfect in-laws or almost in-laws gift. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's very cool. Yeah, if anybody's into the Chemexes or what do you do V60? Max has been really getting into the coffee game though lately. 'cause
Maxwell House,
He's
yeah.
he's roasting.
Yeah,
his own
Maxwell House
beans.
roasting. Yeah.
Ever heard of it? But
That's great. All right, what was your favorite video game, Max?
So I'm gonna say Halo 1 over
A
break
little-known game
was
that
the
no one's ever played.
ever heard of it?
Man, when did this come out?
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna guess. Let's see. So I was say 2001. 2001.
I was going to say 2001 as well,
Oh.
so I'm curious now.
I was gonna say 99.
Oh, wow. I think it's not 99. We're all Googling it now.
I'll wait for you guys.
Yep, November 15th, 2001.
Wow, look at that. Look at that. Yeah,
So
that's
but
wild.
Is this a remaster? I'm assuming.
It is. And we recently got the new Xbox and Game Pass came with it. So we downloaded the Master Chief Collection, and we're like, why don't we just like Sarah and I just co-op through the whole Halo campaign, starting with the first one, which I haven't done since a long
2001?
time. Yeah. And so probably like halfway through the first one, it's so good. Like still as a co-op campaign,
That's amazing.
it's amazing.
Um,
And it's tough.
Yeah, what are you playing on? Heroic, legendary.
Yeah.
I beat it on
Sarah wouldn't let us do
Legendary.
legendary.
Legendary is very hard.
Yeah, she said no. She got very frustrated with it.
Some
Oh,
people.
did you start at
Which
legendary?
makes sense. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really, really hard. Even with like hanging back and like letting someone run in for a bit and see if they die, it's like immediate. Like, oh well.
No, that was our favorite. Like we would do sleepovers like in like
Yeah.
middle school and high school,
Yep.
and that's what we would do. We would 4 players, couch co-op, legendary. You don't sleep until you beat the game.
Which is insane.
We did it though. Like I remember
Yeah,
doing
I
it.
remember
So, but I
doing
mean,
it.
we started pretty early. But like when you get in that final tunnel sequence with the warthogs and stuff, and whoever's driving, I just remember getting so pissed at all my friends who were driving because
Yeah,
they make like a
they'd
wrong
run into
turn.
stuff and you'd just be
And
like,
you're just like,
well-
well, we're done. We got to start over. I just want to go to bed. Like, but how
The
far?
first time we got into a warthog, I was driving Sarah around. She's in the back turret, and she is laughing at me every like 10 seconds because I'm running into something or trying to do some move that just doesn't work. And once we were going back into one, I was like, fine, you drive. And in less than 10 seconds, she drove off a cliff that I didn't even know existed. And she's like, fine, I'm not driving anymore. She doesn't laugh at me anymore.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
tough.
great.
Hey,
I
hard to
love
drive.
that.
All right.
What a great game.
I would play it again. I would.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to quickly go through mine because I put too many in. I didn't choose.
Hey, you didn't choose? You just
No,
went
you
with your
told me
list
to-
of 10 games?
You told me to choose, and I didn't choose. My first one is the Prophecy of Kings Twilight Imperium 4th Edition expansion.
Big surprise. Big surprise here.
Yeah, I don't think anyone saw this coming. I
No.
sure didn't. I loved it. I really liked the exploration that it added. Run into the
Smacking
TV?
stuff.
Yeah, okay. I really enjoyed the exploration that it added. I didn't win, but I almost won twice and feel kind of robbed. Bobby kind of betrayed me, and we're not on talking terms right now. But
Wait, did you play twice?
I almost won twice in the same game. I've only played it once.
I was like, that's a lot of time.
It is
Yeah,
a lot of
seriously.
time. Yeah. The major things that it adds is exploration, and it also adds some more units, and then it adds some leaders. The units, it adds a mech as like a ground force, and it's just better than troops, so not too exciting there, but it does have a special ability usually. The leaders was really interesting. They unlock at certain points in the game, and it just like gives your faction even more asymmetry from other factions, and it was really cool. I like that. But the thing I liked the most was the exploration.
Nice.
I went heavy exploration in the beginning of the game, and it really paid off for me. I got to an early lead because of that, the extra resources and things I got from exploring. So, yeah, highly recommend it. If you like Twilight Imperium, it makes it a 4X game, and it makes it great and even better than it was.
How does the
What about added time?
We played in 2 nights with 5 people. 5? Yeah, it was 5 people. So it was
what's
pretty
a night look
normal.
like?
We usually start at 8 or 8:30 and go until about 1 or 1:30. So we played it in 2 of those nights. So it was about 8 hours, I think.
Yeah,
but
that's a long.
I
game.
almost won at 10:30 on the second night, which would have been much shorter, but Bobby betrayed me and I didn't win. And then I accidentally attacked Bobby, forgetting I had his support for the throne, and that caused me not to win. So it was unfortunate for me twice. Next game is not a new game.
Wait, sorry. Before you go on, how does the exploration mechanic actually work? Like, are you flipping over new tiles? Or?
No, the tiles all are out there, but when you land on a planet for the first time, you can explore it.
Okay.
If you have a special tech, you can explore it a second time. And you just like draw from a deck that matches the color of the planet. There's like 3 different colors.
Cool.
And you can find these things called shards, or I think it's called shards, but they're basically, if you get 3 of the matching color, you can trade them in for like an epic item, basically. That makes
that's
you
cool.
really. So that part was really fun. I ended up getting 2 different of those. I think they're called artifacts. Sorry, excuse me for people that have played. But the part I really liked about exploration is in the empty regions that don't have planets, there were like frontier tokens is what they're called. And if you go into those spaces, you can explore those as well. And I think those were a little bit better.
That's cool.
You got like wild shards, so like you could use them with any of the 3 colors to get an artifact. It was great. I really, really enjoyed it. My race was like built for exploring those frontier ones, so I focused on that. I think I got like more than 3/4 of them that happened, so that was really fun.
Nice.
Second one is not a new game. This came out in 2019, I think. Cartographers. I actually think there's an expansion either that just came out for it or is coming out for it. This is a flippin' right, I think is what it's called. It's kind of like the Railroad Ink games that you might play, but instead of rolling a dice, it's cards that are getting flipped up. And it's almost like a mix between that and Tetris, where you have like a shape and like a resource. So it might be like woods in like a L shape, and you have to figure out a place to put that on your board that gets you points.
Yeah.
And then each season, there's 4 seasons, there's different things that are going to get you points in that season. So you're trying to like fulfill requirements that are on the board. Literally, you open the box, and it is 4 pencils, a stack of 100 maps, and a deck of cards, and that is it.
Oh, wow.
It is not a big game. It was very easy to learn. They say you can play it with 100 different people if you want, because it has 100 sheets in it, but there also are free sheets online that you can download and print. The only thing that I would recommend is don't use their pencils, use colored pencils, because it makes it way easier to score at the end.
Oh, nice.
I had seen that advice online, and I did that from the beginning, and it definitely made it better. Oh man, I've been ignoring the chat.
Aaron said flip and fill.
Flip and fill. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, flip and fill. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
type of game it is. Thank
Flip
you.
and fill.
Not roll and write, flip and fill. flipping.
Sounds like you're saying like Phil, like a person. Anyways, that sounds fun. I've been wanting to play more like not roll like it's
We could play
something
that
and
remote.
something roll and write,
Yeah.
but flip and fill. Like
I don't think we
Rar-
should start
Rar and right.
like dividing this
this mechanic.
genre into more names. Like, can they all just be rolling rights?
I mean, it's not. There's no dice, so it's not roll.
It doesn't matter though. It's the same idea. Or we can rename it to something else, but I don't want it to break off into like flip and right, roll and right, flip and fill, and it's just like a whole different genre for everything.
roll and fill.
Sarah says that colored pencils are funner anyway, and she was actually my Secret Santa, so that was really fun. She got me that game, so thank you, Sarah. It was wonderful to play. Me and my wife enjoyed it greatly. My next game, sorry guys, is Dune Imperium, and I actually just played this last night. We played it on the Discord. It was great. I did not learn it as well as I should have going into it. I watched a video while I was watching my son, which means that I just like missed random rules in the middle. And I ended up getting murdered by Bobby. Bobby had 10 points when I had 4, I think, maybe 5. And
This
that was,
Bobby character, you need to stop playing with him.
I need to stop playing games with Bobby, except for chess. I beat him at chess. Anyway, it is a worker placement mixed with a deck builder, themed in the Dune universe. I think specifically after the new movie that's coming out, because it had like images that matched the actors.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Just on the TTS mod or the
The actual board game does.
the actual board game has? Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's brand new. It just came out, so I think it was done with the studio.
Wow.
So anyway, the mechanics are really sound. I really think it fit into the world nicely. If you've read the books, it definitely helps understand why you're doing the things you're doing, and just like make sense of the things on the board. So I'd recommend watching the movie or reading the books if you want to play this game. But I mean, everyone that's talked about it has said it's good, and I completely agree. I had a blast, even though I got beat by a very large margin. Had I won one battle, it would have been 7-8 instead of 10-5. So it's not like it was a runaway game. It was just came down to that at the very end. It was fun.
When did Dune Imperium come out?
I think it's like in the process of coming out, or just came out last month.
Okay.
As far as like
because I wonder if
actually
they
hitting the
were
market.
originally trying to launch it at the same time as the film.
I'm sure they
Because
were.
then the film got delayed.
Yeah.
But yeah, really excited about the film.
It's fantastic. We have the first Dune game, and we'll definitely be trying to add this to our collection as soon as possible to play in person. And then my favorite Christmas present was a speeder bike Star Wars drone, and it is so fun. It has like amazing sound effects, and my wife hates it because I may have run into my nephew's jacket. He was not wearing it at the time, but I did shred a piece of his jacket with it. He wasn't wearing it, okay? It's not a big deal.
Yeah, he won't notice.
Yeah, he's like a month old.
Yeah.
Wait, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, no, it's not a
Shredding
joke.
clothes?
It is like a $300 drone that for some reason my dad found for like $38, but it is worth every bit of $300. It is like you open the box for the first time and like lights go off and like Star Wars music plays and it's in this like beautiful display case. It's wild. I love it. My wife will not let me play it in the house. So play it in the house, fly it in the house. Anyway, whatever. Jacob, I would love to play Arnak with you. I've heard great things. I will play that next week if you want to play. Woof.
Wait, have you taken it downstairs?
The drone.
Yeah.
I've only flown it outside, sadly, but I have like a bigger like double length ceiling. I don't know if that's how you call it. A 2-story ceiling in the like living room, so I could fly it in there. It wouldn't be that bad.
Like, I guess I'm not picturing what this is doing. It's hovering at like a steady thing, or is it a full drone which you can go up and down?
Oh, yeah, you can go up and down. It goes quite high. It is like a full drone, but it's a speeder bike like this big. Doesn't have a camera on it, but it has 4 rotors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I'm not gonna lie, when you first like described it to me, I was picturing something like this big.
Oh no, it's like this big,
then
but
you're
it's
like-
amazing.
It's like
We were like flying it in between, in between like fence posts and like all kinds of stuff. My one big wreck though, I don't know why it turned off, but I had just flown it off a like 3-story deck and it just turned itself off and dropped 3 stories and it was fine. So it's very well made. Anyway, we're talking way too much about that. In the chat, people are saying play Arnak. And then also talking about reading Dune, I highly recommend the first book of Dune. I have not read the second book yet, but I really enjoyed the first one.
when did you read the first book of Dune? This is recent?
Yeah, like maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I knew the movie was coming out and I wanted to read it before it. So
I just finished the Three Body Problem trilogy.
nice. You've been recommending that
Highly
to me for
recommend
a
that.
while, so I need to.
I'm
start
reading the
that.
first one
Wait, really?
right now.
How did
Yeah.
Guys, the
how we not talk
producer
about
of
this?
Netflix, the show, got murdered for this Three Body Problem show. You guys hear about that? He was
Yeah.
poisoned. This is dark. Why did I bring that
You
up?
texted it to me.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you heard about it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. People could be getting poisoned on that set, but the books are very
Is
good.
there poisoning in the book? Maybe it's just a publicity
There's a
stunt.
lot of stuff that goes on in those books. No spoilers. It's pretty bleak though. I think people be getting murdered in the books. So it's great trilogy though. Excited to talk about it with you more, Max, as you continue to read it.
My game was
so good.
Jurassic World Evolution. This game was free on the Epic Game Store last week, and so I picked it up, and it is basically like you're creating a Jurassic Park RTS, and I really liked it. I really like RTS games. My Tyrannosaurus Rex did get out, and it did eat people, along with my Velociraptors, so I had to restart that map.
Could it be a Jurassic Park game if it did not get out? Like, I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
probably true.
like-
It kind of has to
I'm
happen.
surprised you don't get like bonus points for
Yeah,
letting your
I
T-Rex
thought I was
out.
doing great. I had big fences, and then I had electrified fences, and then the power went off, and my electrified fences stopped working. So, what are you gonna do? You know, it's not my fault. 100 people died.
I thought you were gonna say like I thought I was doing great. I was like really recreating the moments from the film.
Yeah.
And isn't that the point?
That's the point.
It's like where's Jeff Goldblum? I don't understand.
I did have a couple of park rangers get eaten by one. I sent them in to feed him in his cage, and I didn't realize that was harder than it looked. And yeah, they got eaten. So that wasn't fun either. But
Reminds
other than
me
that,
of Zoo Tycoon.
Zoo
I
Tycoon.
don't know if
Yep.
anybody.
Thanks, Cody.
That game was tough.
It was tough.
Yeah. I loved that game. And
Yeah,
this
it's
does
good.
have some of that in it. So I highly recommend it if you're looking for something to play. I think RTSs are like, I think that might be in the same vein of why I like board games, of just like that, like creating like mechanisms that are like getting you money, and like you're building towards something. You're building an engine. And I think it scratches a similar itch for me. So
Oh yeah. I mean, you're always trying to get me to play whatever the newest Civ game
that's true.
is. So
Yep. We used to play it. That
we
was
did.
fun.
We did.
With
And
Sam.
Max has been playing AOE Age of Empires.
Oh, Max, I will
Yeah.
play that in a heartbeat. Let's do it. That
So
sounds
okay,
great.
as long as you're in for 45 or 40-minute treaties, no blockade. That's all we do.
So you can't attack for the first 40 some minutes? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, I'll
That's
try
the
it.
best way. You build up these massive
Armies,
empires,
and then it's just like, let's go.
it's almost always that it's over in like 10, 15 minutes for us.
Afterward.
It's like 40 minutes of building and then just down.
That sounds fun though.
I'll play.
It is awesome.
Yeah, let's do it. Cool. Well, that is the end of our special topic, which was basically just to catch up on what we've been doing for the last month, other than, hanging out with our families and working.
Yeah.
But we already kind of did an update of kind of what's going on in IV World. Really, really excited to go back to Moonrakers. I loved working on Veiled Fate. It's my favorite game that we've made out of the two. But we had so many ideas come from the community after the games were delivered. And we had so many ideas in the meantime of not working on Moonrakers
Oh,
that
yeah.
it's going to be really exciting to kind of like look at all of that and kind of digest it and jump back in and start making content for it again.
Yeah, and we'll be. I don't know, when we were making Moonrakers the first time, there really wasn't much of a community around the game. But one of the things I'm really looking forward to this time around is sourcing you all and having you come in and help us come up with ideas for these upcoming expansions.
Yeah.
I think it's going to make the games infinitely better, and I think we'll just have a great time. I
Yeah.
think all coming up with ideas together. So we'll be posting stuff as we make it. And I think we're going to be doing some TTS testing this time
definitely.
around.
Yep.
So we'll please join the Discord. We'll as those come out, we'll get you into some play tests and try it out, and you can tell us what's working and what isn't.
Yeah, and thanks to the mods that made that TTS mod. It's scripted, it's wonderful, and I can't wait to use that versus the terrible playtesting material we had for Moonrakers the first time around. It was literally
Nah, it
like
was
blank
great.
cards with like stickers stuck to them, and
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, man.
Wish I could go back.
hey,
I'd
I
rather
got it.
play
It's
with
in that
version.
drawer right there. We can play with it right now if you want. Anyway, that's all I have. So we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really excited to keep making games for you, and then also kind of keep making this kind of content and growing this content. I'd love to do some art, like some RPG stuff eventually on here. And that would be really fun. But
yeah, if you've got any ideas for Ivy Games weekly topics or anything, let us know.
Definitely,
Segments.
we have problems coming up with those.
We're gonna keep it going this year, so let us know.
Yeah, awesome.
You got anything else, Max? Any other closing remarks?
I think everybody that's watching should join Age of Empires. We can
Just
get
a
some
30
big
player.
games going.
Yeah, what's the max? How many?
8?
8
Yeah,
players?
it can't be more than 8.
I think it's 8.
They make pretty large maps.
Yeah.
That'd
But
be insane, though.
But the problem with 8 is you just get like absolutely dumped on if 2 people show up at the same time, unless you're playing 2 teams.
I mean, you got to make
Yeah,
alliance.
yeah,
Yeah, we do. You should do teams though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
and a
okay.
4v4 would be
Very fun, but
Pretty
terrifying.
cool.
I used to play 3v3 in high school.
cool.
It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm game.
One person would get like messed up early and they'd have to like come to your base and start. We'd always send a worker to everyone else's base at the beginning just in case. And it was, yeah. All right.
All
On
right.
that note, bye guys.
Thanks for watching,
Thanks
everybody.
for watching.
see ya. Wow, it's certainly got